Kayla Clark and the Indiana Fever to be successful, it's the WNBA referees. Just simple as that, man.
We need some calls.
You know what I'm saying? Based off the footage I had examined, I came to the conclusion that there was an agenda against Kayla Clark and her team.
The WNBA refs had it out for Caitlin Clark all season, and now we finally have proof. Sydney Colson just leaked a video that shows Clark confronting officials about the unfair treatment, and it's changing everything we thought we knew. This isn't just another rookie complaining. The stats don't lie. Clark was getting fouled without calls, game after game, while stars on other teams were getting every touch called. The league is even hiring new refs now. Coincidence? I don't think so. You need to see what's really happening here. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. So what's actually in this video that Sydney Colson leaked? It shows Caitlin Clark in action at an Indiana Pacers game, not hesitating to speak her mind. The rookie sensation is caught on camera telling a referee point blank, "We need more calls." This wasn't some out-of-control player losing her cool like some people want you to believe. This was a leader standing up for her team in real time. The clip from Johnny Liquid Never Coming Back captures this moment perfectly. A young star who's not afraid to advocate for fair treatment on the court.
For Kayla Clark and the Indiana Fever to be successful, it's the WNBA referees. Just simple as that, man.
We need some calls.
The truth about what Clark was dealing with this season is shocking when you look at the numbers. Game after game, she was getting absolutely hammered driving to the basket. We're talking multiple defenders making contact, arms coming down across her body, and somehow the whistle stayed silent. Meanwhile, other star players across the league were getting touch fouls called like the refs had money on the game. The disparity was impossible to ignore if you actually watch the games. What's absolutely ridiculous is how certain people tried to spin this whole situation. They painted Clark as some entitled rookie who couldn't handle the physical play of the WNBA. Are you kidding me?
You know what I'm saying? Based off the footage I had examined, I came to the conclusion that there was an agenda against Kayla Clark and her team. They don't just stay in the game and keep playing after you pretty much laid hands on this young lady. What is wrong with this league?
This is exactly what veteran leaders do. They communicate with officials, they advocate for their team, and they point out when there's an obvious imbalance in how the game is being called. Clark wasn't complaining. She was doing what any team captain would do in that situation. Let me break down some of these missed calls for you. There were plays where Clark would split defenders on her way to the rim, take contact from 3 different players, and somehow the refs would swallow their whistles.
Well, look like Kayla Clark has been paying attention as well, because some new footage dropped of her being at the Indiana Pacers game, running up on a referee. Flagrant fouls are being called, making sure when somebody assaults Caitlin, they get ejected from the damn game.
I've watched hundreds of WNBA games, and some of these non-calls were straight up embarrassing. There was a game against Connecticut where Clark got smacked across both arms on a layup attempt, and the officials just stared like they were watching a different game. How does that happen at the professional level? Check out these stats, they tell the whole story. Clark was averaging just 3.9 free throw attempts per game, despite having one of the highest usage rates in the entire league. For context, that's significantly lower than other guards who handle the ball as much as she does. Players like Arike Ogunbowale, Sabrina Ionescu, and Kelsey Plum were all getting to the line much more frequently despite similar playing styles. When a player is attacking the basket as much as Clark was, those numbers just don't add up.
And pretty much telling him, bro, do your job, dog. Because you want to know why? It's a whole lot of referees that was not doing their job. No, Kayla Clark, biggest enemy, and the entire Indiana Fever biggest enemy, it's the WNBA referees, bro.
The leaked video confirms exactly what was happening. Clark approaches the referee professionally, makes direct eye contact, and simply states, "We need more calls. No theatrics, no drama, no technical worthy behavior. Just a straightforward request from a player who's tired of getting beaten up with no whistle." This is textbook leadership from someone who understands that part of being a star is advocating for your team when something isn't right. You know what's absolutely wild? This officiating problem directly impacted the Fever's entire season. I counted at least 6 games where the free throw disparity was so extreme.
With the season being right around the corner, Caitlin Clark already knows that is their biggest enemy. I don't care what nobody says. It ain't a team. It ain't a player. Their kryptonite is the referees, dog.
It likely changed the outcome. There was the game against Seattle where the Storm shot 26 free throws to Indiana's 7. Or how about when they played Minnesota and the Lynx attempted 29 free throws while the Fever got just 9. In those close games, that kind of imbalance doesn't just affect the score. It changes how players have to approach the game. Let's get something straight. Clark wasn't making demands like all these clickbait headlines want you to claim.
But she was mainly just telling him they needed more calls, bruh. It's just that darn simple. Get them more calls, like literally doing the right thing. Like, it wouldn't kill y'all to do the right thing and make the right calls, bro. That's just all I'm saying.
She was simply asking for the same treatment that every team in the league deserves. The video proves it. There was no tantrum, no disrespect, just a professional player addressing an official about a legitimate concern. That's not being entitled. That's being a leader who's invested in her team's success. The most frustrating part?
Win more games, and it ain't even like a cheating aspect of it. It's doing the right thing at this point. As somebody that watched the games last year and witnessed y'all pretty much drop the ball, bro, when it comes to Caitlin Clark. We did some things, made some adjustments. We're hiring new referees. From my understanding, hopefully these referees ain't coming from the YMCA league, bro.
The refs weren't just missing calls. They were fundamentally changing how the Fever had to play. Clark had to completely adjust her offensive strategy because driving to the basket became a losing proposition. When you know you're going to get hit without getting the call, you start settling for outside shots. That's not just bad for Clark, it's bad for the entire team's offensive flow, and ultimately bad for the league. Fans want to see the best players play their best game, not adapt to inconsistent officiating. So here's the truth. The WNBA is finally acknowledging what we've been seeing all season. They're literally hiring new referees for next season because they know there's a huge problem. What Caitlin Clark did wasn't making demands. She was just a rookie being brave enough to speak up when others wouldn't. This isn't just about Clark, though. It's about making sure players get to the free throw line when they're fouled. It's about calling flagrant fouls correctly. It's about ejecting players who assault others on the court. The WNBA deserves quality officiating that matches its growth. Better refs mean better basketball. That's just facts.